Good morning, Tottenham fans. I hope you're all doing well today. Well, I want to have a little bit of fun. I want to talk about two strikers, Dominic Solanke and Victor Gyokeres, who will score more goals next season. I'm going to say in all competitions. They're both going to be in Champions League next season. Also want to talk about how Spurs can raid Juventus and take a couple of quality signings from them and maybe send a couple back the other way. So all that in today's video. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. Just got past 2,000 subscribers now and I'm on my way to 3,000. Much appreciated. Thank you for everybody that's subscribed so far and thank you for all your likes and comments. So let's start off with a little bit of fun today. Who would score more out of Victor Gyokeres and Dominic Solanke? Now hear me out. A lot of people would probably laugh at me and straight away say, why are you even comparing the two? Well, I'll give you my reasons. Let's start with Dominic Solanke. Now, the season before Tottenham, he scored 21 goals in all competitions, which is, for me, pretty decent, especially scoring 19 of them in the Premier League and scoring them for Bournemouth, which for me is pretty impressive. The season later, he plays for Spurs. It's the first season he's played for Spurs. We ended up finishing 17th. Still managed to get 16 goals and 8 assists. He had 2 injuries through that time as well. Only managed to play 44 games out of the 60 that we had. So for me, I don't think that return was too bad in his first season in a poor... And I think as well, the system that Ange played did not suit Dominic Solanke whatsoever. He was hardly getting any service. Most of the play was down the wings, cross it in for the other winger to tap in. So Solanke was more of the workhorse, more of the I'll do all the running, the hold up play, the flick ons, and everyone else scores around him. And he still managed to get 16 goals. So pretty impressive. In a Frank system, it will be all based around him scoring all the goals. Frank said already that he's really excited to see Dominic Solanke play and work with him. And if you think about it in another way, Dominic Solanke's attributes are not much different to Ivan Toney. And Ivan Toney scored a lot of goals under Frank. So if Frank can do the same with Solanke, he could turn into a goal machine himself. So I don't think the gulf between Solanke and Gyökeres is going to be that much. Let's have a look at Gyökeres. Well, so last season for playing for Sporting, he scored 49 goals and got 8 assists. It was incredible. More goals than games he scored. And he's an absolute goal machine. Absolute goal machine. This is a guy that I wanted to come to Spurs, so I can't now, because he's gone to the Gooners, start saying that he's crap, because that's not, logical. That's not what kind of person I am. So Gyökeres for me is an absolute goal machine, an absolute goal poacher, and he's going to be playing in an Arsenal side that's finished second for the last 145 years, and they need that kind of player to step up to try and win the Premier League. And so the pressure's going to be on him, because now there's no excuses for Arsenal not to win the Premier League, because their main excuse was we haven't got a number 9, we haven't got that clinical guy to put away the chances. And to be fair, it was clear to see from all Arsenal fans and rival fans that without that number 9, the amount of times that ball went into the box, and if there was a number 9 there, for example, if Gyökeres was playing for Arsenal last season and they played PSG in that semi-final when they had chance after chance after chance, if Gyökeres was playing in that match, Arsenal would have been 3-0 up within I'd say the first 10 minutes, and everything would have been different. So Gyökeres for me, I think in an Arsenal setup where they're going to create hundreds of chances in a season, he will bang in a lot of goals. Now, I think the gulf between the goals is not going to be as high as everyone thinks. I think Gyökeres will edge it. I think he will score more goals than Dominic Solanke. He should do. I just think he's got, at the moment, I think Arsenal's first 11 is stronger than ours. And I just think that he will get even more chances than Solanke will. And I just think he'll bang them away. He's very prolific. He scores a lot of goals. So I just think that Gyökeres will score, I'd say he would score 20 plus Premier League goals next season. And in those 49 goals he scored last season, everyone says, oh, it's the Portuguese league, it's not as strong. 6 of those goals were in the Champions League. So he's proven he can do it on a higher level too. So for me, Gyökeres will score more than Solanke, but don't underestimate how good Solanke can be next season under Thomas Frank. If Kudus does come in for Spurs as well, and he's got Tell firing on the left, the amount of chances they're going to create for Solanke just by taking on their man and creating space for him is unreal. So, and you've got Maddison, if he's fully firing, and Kulusevski, Solanke spending more time in the box is going to get more chances to score. He's a confidence player. If he starts banging them in early in the season, his tally could go up and up and up. He's proven he can score 19 Premier League goals in one season. There's no reason why he can't do that again next season. So for me, Gyökeres edges it, but it's not as big a gap as everyone says it is. I just think Solanke is better than people are actually making out. Now, can we raid Juventus for a couple of players? Now, they've put Douglas Luiz for sale. And for me, Douglas Luiz in the DM role for us would be like a brilliant signing. It would be an absolute brilliant signing. So good on the ball, so good at dictating play, so good at winning the ball back. Archie Gray and Bergvall would learn a lot from him. He's very experienced, and he wouldn't be that expensive. I think we could get him for 40 to 45 million. And for me, in today's market, for a gap in our team that we really need to fill, I think that's just a no-brainer for me. So, and we've got Fabio Paratici back in the club. I know he's been there the whole time, but he can officially now start talking to players and getting on his phone again, talking to 10 players a day. So I just think we're going to have a lot of links now to Italy because of Paratici. So yeah, I just think we could get Douglas Luiz. And another one today, what was it? There was another player today that was linked out as well. Oh yeah, Dusan Vlahovic. I can't say his name. Vlahovic. Please let me know in the comments how to say it properly. But reports are saying, and I doubt this by the way, but the reports are saying that he's got a year left on his contract and they're willing to let him go for like 13 million. Now, when he was playing for, I think it was Fiorentina, he was one of the sought after strikers in world football. He was touted to go for 70, 80 million. And he was such a good striker. But since he's been at Juventus, he's not been awful. He still scores goals, but he's not just been as prolific as he was. He may have a fresh start. I think it's only 25. He may have a fresh start if he comes to someone like Spurs. And paying only 13 million is not much of a gamble, to be honest. Not in today's market. And if he can come in second fiddle to Solanke, less pressure on him, but comes in, wins his place and starts scoring goals, or they rotate, because that's what we need to do. We can't afford to have Richie being injured all season, Solanke playing every game, and then eventually getting injured or burnt out. So we do need a Vlahovic to come in and banging goals as well. So for me, I would send Richie back the other way as well. And another guy that's been linked to Juventus is Bissouma. So what if we did a swap deal with Bissouma and Richarlison, sent them to Juventus, and then swapped them for Vlahovic and Douglas Luiz? Now for me, that's strengthened our first 11 already and strengthened our squad at the same time. There is a shout to say, what about Kolo Muani? Because he can play in the number 9 role as well. I think there's a bit of a debate between Juventus and PSG for his signature. Juventus can't afford him, so maybe he might go on sale and maybe Spurs can swoop. We did want to get him before, remember, last season, but he decided to go to obviously a more predominant side. So there is a chance we could just gate crash Juventus again. And it's not the first time we've done it. Remember, we did it with Bentancur and Kulusevski, and that actually turned out all right that season because them two were absolutely brilliant for those 6 months that they came in. So imagine if we got them two players in. Douglas Luiz is Prem proven. And when people say, well, what is Prem proven? I've heard that said to me quite a few times. Prem proven just means you've already adapted to the pace of the Premier League. You already understand what it takes to play in that role, and you've done it to a high level. That's Prem proven. So if anybody asks me that again, there's your answer. I don't need to answer you anymore. But yeah, so also if we sent Richie out Vlahovic hasn't got much of an injury record. Like, his injury record is pretty decent. So if, and he's got Champions League experience as well. So if Solanke does need a rest, it's not much of a drop-off for someone to come in and bang in the goals as well. So for me, both of those signings would be a no-brainer. We've done deals with Juventus in the past. We seem to have quite a good relationship with them. We could send them Biss and Richarlison. Straight swap for me, but obviously they'll do it through the books and they'd probably make them as signings. But for me, 2 straight swaps, and both teams will win it, because I think Richarlison would do all right in the Italian league, to be honest. I think it's a bit slower. They'd put in a lot more crosses. He's very good in the air, so I just think Richarlison would thrive there. Basuma, it's a bit slower again. He's used to, like, when he gets highly pressed in the Premier League, he seems to make a lot of mistakes. I don't think that would be the case as much in Italy, and I think he would thrive. So I think it's best for both sides. Not being biased here, I just think it's best for both sides to do that deal. But whether Spurs do it or not is a different story. Just something to think about, bit of fun here. So let me know in the comments, who do you think would score more goals next season in all competitions, not just the Premier League, Gyökeres or Solanke? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Spurs.